Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here from Miss Carrie's Creations. I've joined the creative design team for a Christmas in July collab. We have some great projects that you can make with a holiday theme. Many of the design team members have already shared their projects with you. If you missed any of those, I have a playlist linked on the screen at the end of my video and in the description below. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to create your own gift card holder in Cricut Design Space. For those of you who do not own a Cricut, I'm also going to share an alternative option for you to make so that you won't be left out. Make sure you don't skip through too much of today's video because I have a little surprise for you that you don't want to miss. I am using this sweet little peppermint paper pack to create my gifts today, along with some stamps and other items in my Christmas collection. I will be cutting these with my Cricut machine, and I'll be adding score lines to the images. This requires a scoring stylus or a scoring wheel. If you're not sure which one you need, I talk about these in a few of my videos and explain it in our membership classes. If you're not familiar with our CDT Creatives membership classes, you are truly missing out. This month we have a free gift for new members who join, but before I tell you about that, I want to let you know that we have reopened our exclusive membership group for a limited time, and we would love for you to join. Each week you'll receive a technique-based class from one of our 8 team members, showing you how to use the items in your collection. Now, in a minute, I'll tell you about the little surprise we have for you, but I want to make sure we get into Cricut Design Space so that I can show you how to make the project. I'm using the Windows version of Design Space today, and I've opened it up to a new blank canvas. I'm going to start creating the little pocket for our gift tags. I'm using an 8-inch paper pad, so these holders are going to be sized to fit that paper. You are welcome to make any adjustments you need to fit the pattern paper you are using. Most of you have access to shapes, so I'm going to use those to create the little pocket. I'm going to insert a rounded rectangle and a standard square shape. I've changed the color of these to make it easier for you to see. I'm going to resize the rounded rectangle to 3 1/4 inches by 4 inches, and the square shape to 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. These are the front and back of my gift card holder. Before I weld these together, I need to align them and position them on the canvas. To align the two, I'm going to select both images and choose Align, then Center horizontally. While they're both selected, I'm going to position them in the upper left corner using the Position tool. I'm going to enter 0 for X and 0 for Y, and the group will be placed in that corner perfectly. Now, if you've never used the Position tool before, I have shared a little bit here on my channel, but I went into great detail and showed everyone how to use it in our membership classes. In that class, I showed everyone how to create a fancy fold card template in Design Space. If this is something that you would like to be a part of, we would love to have you in the group. You'll not only get that free sketchbook, but you'll also have access to our entire library of classes and all of the new ones for as long as you're a member. Now I'm going to leave a link for you to learn more about this in the description below. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the project. Now that these two are in position, I need to move the square into place. I'm going to click on the image and use the Position tool to move it to 3 3/4 inches. Once that image is in place, I can weld the two together. Now I need to insert some score lines. Before we add those, I need to remind you that you do need a scoring wheel or a scoring stylus to create score lines with your machine. I'm going to go back to my Shapes menu and select a score line. This first score line is going to fold the pocket in half. I'm going to change the size of the score line to 3 1/4 inches, then rotate it 90 degrees. To place it perfectly in the center, I'm going to select the score line and use the Position tool to place it 1/4 inch to the right and 3.75 on the axis. The next step is to add 2 score lines to create the tabs that hold this pocket closed. I'm going to go to my Shapes menu once again and insert a score line. This is going to be sized at 3 3/4 inches high, and then I'm going to duplicate it so that I have one for each side of the pocket. I'm going to click on the first score line and move it into position. This will be placed at 0.25 on the x-axis and at 3.75 on the y-axis. The second score line will be placed at 3.5 on the x-axis and 3.75 on the y-axis. Now that all the score lines are in place, I'm going to select all and attach them together. If you have the Cricut Access membership, you can also add a little notch at the top. All right, now that the pocket is finished, I'm going to show you how to add some little notches to a tag to hold a gift card. I have inserted a tag shape from the Design Space library, and I have sized it to fit my pocket. To attach the gift card to this tag, I want to add some little notches. Now, if you're an Access member, you have the ability to add this little shape here to your project. If you don't have this shape, you can go ahead and skip over this part of the video and just adhere your gift card to the tag with some double-sided tape. For those who wish to learn how to add these to your tag, you will need to first ungroup the multi-layered tag images and move that image to the upper corner of the canvas. Just go ahead and use that position tool and place everything at 0, 0. Insert 2 of those little arc shapes and size them to a 1/2 inch wide. Rotate them so that they face each other using that rotate option at the top of the screen and the flip tool. After you have rotated the images, use the position tool to put them in place. The one on the left is set at 1/4 inch over from the left and 2.5 inches from the top. The one on the right is set at 2.25 inch from the left and 2.5 inches from the top. Depending on the size of your tag, you may need to adjust this. I inserted a guide that was sized to my gift card to make sure these were in the correct position. In that membership group, I show everyone how to make guides. All right, now we just need to attach those little notches to the tag so that we can save our design and cut everything out. I'm going to grab a few items to embellish these, and then I'll show you how to put them together. So I've gathered all the parts and pieces I cut on the Cricut for my 2 gift card holders. If you're a non-Cricut owner and skipped ahead, I'll show you how to make another pocket using some dies. I hope that you didn't skip too far ahead, or you may have missed out on that little gift I spoke about. If you happen to miss it, I'm going to share it again at the end of the video. To assemble the pockets, you're going to fold over the 2 tabs towards the inside and use 2-sided tape to hold these in place. I cut mine from pattern paper that is heavy weight. If your paper feels a little thin, you could always cut this from cardstock and then decorate it with some paper. Now, I want to show you an alternative for those who do not own a Cricut. I have found that this little seed packet die works great for gift cards. You can cut it from your pattern papers or cardstock to create a simple little pocket. The tabs fold towards the center and can be adhered to the inside to create a pocket for a tag. You can use just about any tag die you have for this pocket or cut one from pattern paper. The seed packet measures a little over 4.5 inches wide, so your tag can't be wider than that. Now that we have 3 pockets and 3 tags, let me share some fun decorating ideas with you. This first pocket has a bold poinsettia pattern, so I cut a floral element with my Cricut from pattern paper, and I'm going to add this to the front of the pocket. Poinsettias have a crease in the center, so I like to fold my petals and add ink or sand them to emphasize the crease. On this flower, I added some ink to the creases of the lower layers and sanded the petals of the red layers. You can also add ink to the edges or use some flower shaping tools to create that texture that poinsettia leaves have. Once all the pieces are shaped, I'm just going to use some foam tape to layer these all together. If you're placing this in an envelope and mailing it, you may want to skip the foam tape, but I like how it brings a flower to life. In the center of the poinsettia, I'm going to add the little flowers with some frills. I'm just using some glossy highlights to hold these in place, and then I'll pour the frills over the top. Once it's dried, I can add the flower to the pocket. I used a For You stamp to create a sentiment on the front, added a few little embellishments, and put some twine and thread on my tag. This pocket is such an elegant little piece. The second pocket is the one I created with the die. I'm going to make this one a little more masculine with a pine cone on the front. This layered pine cone was cut using some dies. You can add ink or paste to the edges to make it look like snow. Behind the pine cone, I'm tucking some pine sprigs. These images are part of that die set and can be layered however you like. I've also added a bow with a wooden button, and then I tucked a tag inside with some jute tied at the top. This one has a great masculine feel to it. The third pocket is going to go together pretty quickly. I've turned this one horizontally, and I'm going to add a few stamped images to the front. I cut out a circle, and I'm going to stamp the Do Not Open image onto it. I've brought over my stamping platform, and I'm stamping that image with some blue ink. While I have my platform out, I'm also going to stamp a border with this cute little gift stamp. I need to stamp this a couple of times, so I have placed the cardstock towards the far end of the stamping platform, and then I'm going to move it down as I stamp the image. This is going to be heat embossed, so I'm stamping it with Versamark ink, and then I'll sprinkle it with some white embossing powder and heat set it with a heat tool. This circle is layered onto another circle that I cut from craft paper, and then the border is tucked right below it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at all 3 gift card holders we made today. These were designed with Christmas in mind, but you can alter them to fit any occasion. The first 2 were cut using images we created in Cricut Design Space, while the third was made using dies. I made each one unique to the recipient using those peppermint patterns, stamped images, and layered pieces, and you can do the same with any items you have in your holiday collection. If you have enjoyed all the ideas from the creative design team this week, you will love our CDT Creatives membership group. Each project video is more detailed and slowed down so that we can give you step-by-step instructions with creative new ideas that stretch your supplies and get that mojo flowing. Registration is only open this week through July 17th, and then our doors will be closed and that free gift will no longer be available. Make sure you sign up soon so that we can send you that free sketchbook. Thank you for joining me for another Cricut tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed today's Christmas in July project and were able to learn something new. Janice will also be posting her video today, so make sure you check that out. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.